Alright, KT probably going to stick with the same bands, I assume. Sejuani, Zach, Trundle. They're on the other side, so this means that they chose blue side because they get first, third, fifth. So they chose blue side this time. So SKT might not ban the Rakan that they banned before because KT doesn't have the threat of 1-2ing Xayah Rakan. Because they don't have the threat of 1-2ing Xayah Rakan, then KT can try to bait out them to give them Swain or to give them one of Xayah Rakan and then force them to pick the other to waste one of their 1-2. Not necessarily waste, but Azir, that sets up for Swain mid. The Azir ban sets up for Swain mid. So KT's options are going to be to first pick Swain or first pick Xayah. This is Xayah or Swain. They have to pick Xayah or Swain. If they pick Xayah, they force SKT to take Rakan, and then it will have to be Rakan Swain for their first two. Otherwise, they would give up Xayah and Swain, which they would not do. That would give them way too much power in a certain range. So SKT, they have to take Rakan, and they have to take Swain. Rakan, Swain. Show me the Swain. Yup. And then the matchup that UCal likes playing into Swain that's still up after Azir's banned, he's going to probably default back to Talia. And then a lot of junglers are banned, with Zac, Trundle, Sejuani, and Olaf all being banned. The only top tier jungler that's left is Skarner. And then there's like the lower tier stuff of like Jarvan, Kha'Zix, filler at that point, I guess. So this is probably Skarner. If they wanted to just like have like a power pick that you can't really contest, this is probably Skarner and Talia. Because if they don't pick Talia here, then they get forced into a shorter range matchup into the Swain. So this has to be Skarner Talia. Because UCal is a very prominent Talia player. So he's going to pick Talia into that Swain, and he's just going to push him in and try to do the same thing he was just doing on Azir. Yep. So Mata might look for Thresh in this game because they really like doing the Skarner Thresh, where you grab them and then if you hit the lantern like immediately, you can pull them basically the full length of the lantern, which is extremely potent. Another Jarvan game. I guess like that your options are Jarvan or Kha'Zix, and you probably don't want to play Kha'Zix until like Xayah Skarner, so put him on Jarvan every game. Give him no ability to fight back, basically. Jarvan's really bad at contesting the enemy jungler. His 2v2 can be really potent, but he's really bad at contesting, like, directly. So I would expect SKT to ban, they're going to ban things that can stop their engage. So Morgana is a counter pick into Rakan that people like, because Morgana is one of the only people that can stop Rakan's relatively guaranteed engage. KT are going to keep the theme of banning safe AD carries to force bang either still onto Tristana, or he'd have to play something like Varus. If you play something like Varus, then you have to build like an early Mercurial, which slows down your scaling because you like Gwynsu's Hurricane, that kind of thing. And you're immobile, so you're at risk to being collapsed on by Skarner. And they banned Camille. Why would they ban Camille here? They banned Camille because they want Gnar? It would only make sense if they pick Gnar here. They must be saving their last pick to threaten Gnar. That must be what that Camille ban's for, because Camille has kill threat on Gnar. And Camille Skarner would be way stronger than Gnar Jarvan early. So that must be like the reasoning for this. And then KT shouldn't have like a good damage jungler. I mean, good damage top laner that's left, because the only things that you would ban Camille for are Gangplank, which KT then banned, and then Gnar are the two big ones. So it's probably Gnar. But it could still be top lane Swain, too. And they're going to flex that to last pick. I think generally people think he's a better mid laner. So I'm kind of defaulting to assuming that he's a mid laner. That he is their mid. They can pick the Gnar here. Gnar does alright into Ornn. Can't bully him super hard really early, but then scales into being able to bully him pretty reliably. Renekton seems kind of troll. Shen's fine. Shen does tons of damage to him early, and then Shen has really reliable ways to get in through Jarvan and Rakan. I don't think this Renekton is good. I don't think Renekton can meaningfully bully Ornn. So I don't think this is remarkable. This seems bad. This seems kind of desperate, honestly. This seems like SKT trying to... Like, I get that you have a lot of kill pressure that's relatively reliable with Renekton Jarvan if you can get on him early, but it's really easy for Skarner to zone off the Jarvan because Skarner is so much more potent in an actual fight. And then I think Ornn can actually just beat Renekton away. I don't think Renekton's potent enough at early trades that he can actually trade meaningfully with Ornn. Ornn's early game trading is still really strong. I don't think this Renekton... I think this Renekton's a huge mistake. This Renekton is a huge mistake. So we'll get to see too if they try any of the Thresh Skarner shenanigans where Skarner gets to pull somebody and Thresh gets to pull them out. I would assume Deft Mata have the laning advantage here. Yukal definitely wins mid lane, and Thal might have a slight advantage in top lane early, but that'll probably fall off pretty early. So I think... I don't think SKT has as good of a win condition as they even did in the previous games, because they don't even have like 3 damage dealers like they did before. Like, they're going to lose to this Ornn later. Like, this Renekton will never be able to fight this Ornn. Like, he can fight him a little bit early, and then he's not going to be able to fight him at all later. This Renekton is going to be hella useless. And he's not even going to be tanky enough. Like, Renekton can't normally get tanky enough that he can't just get pulled and murdered too. Because he's going to want to try to build like at least 1 damage at him normally to like try to be able to pressure. And if Renekton gets into a situation where he can't build like 1 damage at him because he's not going to meaningfully harass Smeb anyway, then there is no value to picking the Renekton. This should have been a Gnar. By all means, they banned Camille. They responded to the Gangplank ban. So you pick Gnar. Because Gnar can kite the Ornn in the side lane, and Gnar has the will outscale him. And then Gnar still sets up your team fight really well because Gnar Jarvan is really good, and Gnar can disrupt the team fight for Swain really easily. This just feels like it should have been Gnar in every way. Ornn has a 14 CS advantage right now. I mean, granted, there's probably a wave built up for Renekton to catch, but I don't think Renekton can meaningfully bully him. I am unhappy with this SKT draft. Another option, they could have just put the Swain in top and tried something mid. They'd have to pick something not exactly meta, but you can try like a more aggressive matchup or to take priority elsewhere. Like something like Orianna can be extremely threatening into like Xayah because she's relatively short ranged. And because she's relatively short range, like the ball can zone her really effectively. They could have put the Swain in top 2. This is a good matchup for Talia. Already did 10% of his health. And Swain's going to have a hard time in this game because the people that are going to be in close range of him have so much CC. And then he's going to have a hard time getting out of lane because he's against Talia, who can just clear against him. Can you bonk him? He's looking for the bonk. If you can't get the advantage early as Renekton, then I don't see the merit of this pick in any world. You don't have any winning matchups. You'd have to play really hard off topside. Jarvan's not playing hard off topside. Like, you'd have to be bullying and just trying your damnedest to make this Renekton super hard to deal with. Because, okay, Renekton might be able to threaten somebody like Xayah as the game progresses, because Renekton can get to shorter range AD carries, and he can do a lot of damage. But if that's the goal, then you need to be playing off him to enable him to be that powerhouse in like mid-game team fights. And then you'd be looking for mid-game team fights. So your Swain would have to not build like Abyssal Mask. Actually, you could probably get away with Abyssal Mask in this game because they have a lot of magic damage, but you'd want him to go a more aggressive build early. Tristana's not going to be that useful early. I'll for like 1 item spike. This just feels like a mistake. He had 6, so he had to dash away, but did he get any of these? Hell yeah. Dude's God. He's crafting. Oh, stop crafting. I mean, he's going to get pushed in, right? But they're not invading on top side to take advantage of it. It's not like they have the stronger jungle pick. If they wanted to pick Renekton, then they needed to prioritize this Skarner and either give up Xayah Rakan or give up Swain. Alright, he has the tug. He's looking. They just want the tug. Gonna try to force. Got the hook. He wanted to save his ultimate, so he tried to flash E, but Wolf responded to it fast enough. And it's not like he's even impervious to ganks. This is actually a dangerous thing to be doing, though. KT does this sometimes, but it's actually dangerous to do, where you make plays on both sides, because on one of those sides, you're not going to have as many players as you should. So, like, Blank and Faker are the ones at fault here, because Blank either should be there to defend, or Faker should be able to respond. It's hard for him based on his matchup, so that's probably on Blank to be able to respond topside. So that Thal can attempt to be useful as just Renekton. Yeah, he's really team it, so this Renekton's fucked. He's never going to be useful. Did they get a free dragon? They're getting a free dragon. Hell yeah. This is because all of KT reset. If they straddled their recalls, then this shouldn't be possible. They shouldn't actually, with like the priority that they have in like every lane, they shouldn't be able to like give up dragons early. Based purely on the fact that they got summoners out of bot lane, they were the ones that got like the health advantage, they were the ones that got the kill on top side. By all means, they shouldn't be the ones giving up dragons in any scenarios. This game is not going to get better for a while for KT. I mean, SKT. They're going to scale eventually, but Skarner is more useful than Jarvan. Ornn's more useful than Renekton. So it's not like they get, like, ideal scaling either. Is he dead? Oh, he's gonna get tugged. Oh, he's gonna live, too. Pfft. Holy shit. Still at it, dude. Still at it. Skarner Thresh is busted. Clearly. Can't believe he doesn't die. That don't do any fucking damage. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yo, if you try to make sense of this with me. SKT banned Camille, so that would open up a squishy top lane pick, right? Because they don't want Camille to have all-in potential. And then KT picks Ornn. So your options would be they already had the Swain. They could put the Swain top and try to pick a matchup mid, but there's not very many good matchups that are meta into Talia. So maybe not that. They had Gnar available that wasn't banned, and they could pick Gnar, which would counter the Ornn, which would be a little bit better in lane and be able to scale against him. Instead, they picked Renekton, who can't even bully Ornn early. And then they put no pressure toward this Renekton, so the dude's going to be worthless later in the game. I don't know if this is his decision, like he thought he could bully an Ornn, or if like, or what exactly is going on here, but my man's getting beat up. This is supposed to be a big, manly, bladed crocodile. This is getting smacked. He's getting smacked around by a dude with a hammer. By a bearded dwarf. It's fucking doomed. He might be getting paid to throw, dude. Have you seen a Blank in this set might be getting paid to throw. Honestly, Blank's making it a little bit too obvious. Like, you know, they might have to ring him up, be like, Blank, make it less obvious. Blank. It's looking a little suspect. Look, he just ulted. He's gonna get his ass beat anyway. Ugh. He's just beating his ass. He could die. He has to flash away from this tank. What was the point of this pick? He just engaged with his ultimate and got his ass beat out of the lane. He had to recall. Oh man, I hate this. That is such a bad draft decision. He could pick Ornn. He doesn't have to fight him. Blank! You don't have to take damage from Rift Herald, dude. You're inting. Is he just dead? What is he doing? He took so much damage he didn't need to on that fucking thing. Look at this, dude. What is this? Holy fuck. Dude just got stingered. What is this game? This game's actually over. This Renekton's never going to be a relevant champion. He's never going to be a relevant champion. Zaya's going to push in every mid wave and then try to rotate up whenever they have a wave on top side. Dude, Blank got a fat fucking check. He saw the fucking deposit and he was like, you know what? I don't like winning. That's fine. I don't like winning. The fact that the Renekton is losing. This Renekton's building 2 damage items. And he's already losing to a tank. There's no world where this Renekton can bully this tank. I don't know what you'd pick Renekton into right now. Maybe... I mean, you could dive a Gnar early with Renekton, right? What else is viable that you'd pick it into? Maybe to dive Gangplank? It probably beats Camille. But Ornn? You had counter pick, and you picked Renekton into Ornn. How much do you have to get paid a lot, right? To counter pick Ornn with Renekton? When you have Gnar available, you set up a Gnar pick. Why you wouldn't ban Camille if you were going to pick Renekton? You wouldn't ban you ban Camille because you want to enable either Gangplank or you want to enable Gnar. You want to enable a squishy top laner that she can all in. Well, they banned the Gangplank after they saw the Camille ban because they saw one of those. So your option then remains you go Gnar. Gnar. Not Crocodile. You go Gnar or you go a tank. You go a tank if you want to play off at any other side of the map, and you go Gnar if you really wanted that counter pick, which you saved till 5th pick, right? So you should probably get the best counter pick possible. That must be it, dude. They just wanted to see a defeat screen. It's just so. It was the freest Gnar pick in the world. They were hovering on Shen, and then they went back to Renekton, which is interesting. So, like, maybe there was some miscommunication. Yeah, dude, Gnar and Renekton are right next to each other. It's true, it's true. They were hovering on Shen, which, you know, if you go Shen here, then you just try to make plays with, like, Rakan's level 6 in bot side or something like that, or he gives, like, Swain more availability to just run into fights, or if Blank gets behind, like he probably should against Skarner because he can't clear as fast, he's not as scrappy, then it gives Blank a little bit more durability when he goes into fights. Like, Shen would work fine. Shen beats up on most tanks early with his percentage health damage, and Shen can enable another part of the map for you to play off of, and then you just go hard on that side. But how are you going to draft Renekton into an even matchup at best and then not play around him at all? Like, they didn't put any pressure toward his lane either. So it's like, what's the point of this Renekton? Did they get the Scorpion? They got the Scorpion. Got the Scorpion. Up way too far when his team is just trying to respond to the Rift Herald. This could be huge. We got 2. That's at least 1. That's 2. Oh no, Faker's way too threatening here. They can't move through Faker. Talia's here. Crocodile's dead. This Crocodile literally showed up and died. This Crocodile, what is Faker doing? He could have walked down? Walked down when the Crocodile dies? He walked through their turret. That Crocodile dashed and died. And Faker exited through their turret instead of down toward the Rakan. And okay. Alright, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. They got there. They almost killed Rakan. This is fine. You disengage here. KT disengage here because Faker's fucking sitting in this Thresh. Sitting in here. You don't know who you like more between Bang and Deft. Historically, I like Deft more. Alright, so he gets pulled. Gets flayed. He might still be able to walk away. Like with Rakan there. He might still be able to walk. He would take that tower shot. He'd be at half. They'd have to chase for a while at least. I don't know if I agree with walking through the turret here to try to get away. But like, oh my god, this Renekton's so useless forever. Why? Why do they have a Renekton? SKT's fucking trolling. Bang had a crazy split though. Like this split, he's by far SKT's best player. I've seen quite a few games where Faker looks suspect as fuck this split. Faker looks suspect as fuck. I wish I could just blot this Renekton off of my screen. Like, get him out of here. Remove him. Why? Why is this here? Yeah, we could have Lucian top into this Ornn. Kick his ass. Bring back Huni. Bring back some fucking Lucian top. That's a real counter pick. If you're saving counter pick till 5th, and you think fucking Ornn is a counter pick, you should be replaced by Lucian. You should be replaced by Huni Lucian in fucking top lane. I'm tilted. I mean, I'm sure it's not just Thal's decision, but like maybe he had success with this in practice or something, where he thought it was like a better matchup, or like out of solo queue they've determined that this is like a good matchup or something like that. But historically, Renekton can't bully like most tanks very well. Renekton even like loses to like Shen in lane, so like he's just he has to be used to punish shorter range like bruisery kind of champions, not Ornn. SKT's actually trolling. I feel like they're actually trolling. Seen some shit. How are you doing today, Mina? This turn, I think, can never move up either, because he can be collapsed on and like engaged on by the Orin so easily. Like Orin can engage from such a high range that if he even like tries to contest when like they don't have like control, he can actually just die for free. Doing excellent. How was that dual strike wedge? Is that your current project? I went Cannon. I don't like Cannon a ton on her, but she has to go Infinity Edge third. She has to. So KT can split the map really effectively because Smeb is basically uncontestable in this island. He can ignore Athal while he's like hitting turrets and stuff like that, so he could slowly get objectives. They also have really hard engage via Skarner Flash, Thresh potential pick, and Ornn range. So they will want to look for something, get Baron, and then they can actually just dive from there because their team is tanky enough with enough CC. They can look for a dive. This game is actually over. Yeah, you are 100% correct. This game's actually over. He flashed and got hit by the other side of it anyway. Get tugged. Oh, he got the stinger. Like, what is this crocodile? What does this guy do? Somebody help him. Somebody help this crocodile. Somebody help this crocodile. Somebody help. I have to assume that this was not his decision. Somebody on his team told him that he should pick Renekton. Because this Ornn is going around to other places and being useful in other ways. Maybe that's why they picked it. He's got a meaty 5 CS advantage. Maybe that's what they were looking for. That kind of advantage to be developed out of top lane. I mean, that's pretty respectable, really. It doesn't matter if he can't do literally anything in the side lane and if he couldn't bully him early and if he's basically not a champion, because he's got 7 CS advantage now. That's pretty respectable. Pretty respectable. Everybody's wearing sheets. Alright, KT just needs to get a Baron and then end the game. They just need one pick and go to do Baron. Done. One pick, go to Baron. One pick, go to Baron. They didn't have to invest anything. They got Renekton's Flash and Life. They didn't get like a turret off of it. So like that's not like a good tempo play because they didn't get anything for it. And then they had to also expend Talia ultimate just to stop SKT from responding. So like investing those resources on bot side and with how long it takes because they didn't bring like a real damage dealer is like a poor investment of their time with their advantage. So they should be playing to top side. They should get top side jungle control and then look for a pick. Bonk it, Smib. What did that thing even die to? Red buff? Probably red buff. Smib just needs to push up and leave goddamn bot lane. Sometimes I hate how much like the pacing slows in these fucking games. Oh, he got stunned. He got rooted by Swain there and couldn't pull back further. So that's good. That's great, actually. That's one of KT's most reliable engage tools down. No one on their team has a QSS yet, and every single person on their team can actually be engaged on really safely. KT should be able to win this fight on the back end of it. Blank's not useful. Ornn, big CC? Yeah, they're going to win this fight. They just have to kite. That's about the best kind of fight that like SKT could hope for too. That was hella troll. I like that SKT tried to look for some. Tried to look for something, but realistically, they can't like. engage onto one person, because even if they get the one person, they need to get a lot of damage onto like a priority target early to keep them from being at full effectiveness in the fight. So it has to be on UCal or Deft. Like UCal or Deft have to be like part of the engage. They don't have to be the main like thing, right? You don't have to be able to kill the person, but you have to be able to threaten them so that they can't do their full damage. Swain did a lot of damage there. Hell yeah, Swain. The fact that he has a stopwatch right now is actually super good too, because he buys so much time. Where they still have to invest more onto him while everybody gets to collapse. Because UCal wasn't there yet, Deft was coming up from below. Look at this poor crocodile. This crocodile went to the back line. They all stayed at the same health, and then he got murdered by feathers. A giant crocodile with a big ass axe blade died to feathers. Like shit they stuff in pillows. You could actually hit Renekton with a pillow. And apparently he just dies. Apparently. I just want to understand. I can't see a world where this Renekton pick is merited. I can't. I can't see it. What is... I mean, maybe if they wanted to engage with Ornn, but... I think they wanted to split more people below to make the turret 100% free. But with like the even split that ended up, they weren't comfortable like forcing into it or going all in on the turret immediately. This would be a really good spot for Smeb to ult. He could ult that corridor. He could have ulted that corridor for a quick 4. And it would be right as Swain ult ended. Yeah, KT still wants a fight. Because Swain ult's down. SKT is definitely feeding. They don't have really good siege because Xayah is relatively low range. So they have to be able to like successfully dive. Like they have to land CC from Mata, Score, Smeb onto somebody and be able to just push through with a dive unless they have like a massive wave. Even with Baron, they don't have a good siege. It's a downfall of playing things like Xayah and Twitch, Callista, Sivir, those kinds of things. Champion's like, even like Varus is like relatively safer because he has higher base range, even though he doesn't have like the necessarily like the ultimate or something like that. I feel like SKT should have went Caitlyn the game before because it would make sense with the way that they drafted their lane, and then they would give them like a priority side. And then in this game, I don't know what this Crocodile is supposed to do because he could be Shen and they could play hard off bot side again and enable Bang, who has been by far their best performer, or they could go Gnar, which they set up with their bans. Maybe they wanted Gnar and then they decided like it wasn't like a thing because like maybe Skarn or Ornn could dive could dive Gnar early, but you protect the Gnar for a little bit and then Gnar bullies forever. You'd have to protect him on like a big wave crashing at like level 3 and then he'd probably just be fine forever to just beat up on the Ornn with range. This game tilts me. SKT's making bad draft decisions. The game before this and this. KT is not going to do anything until they can get like another fucking Baron because Korean teams refuse to be proactive without Baron. Unless it's 100% guaranteed it's not happening. Triple Ocean Drake. That does make Siege a little better. Siege does get better when you have Ocean Drakes. Because as long as you can disengage for a second, the amount of regen that it gives you is extremely potent. So you can kind of like take some damage as long as they don't have the hard engage. So as long as you don't put yourself in a position for like Wolf to hard engage on you with like a Faker over top of it and blank engaging, then it's fine. Got Bang's flash. They still have Faker and blank walled off. They can force flashes. Oh, Faker. Faker, what are you doing? Flash the fucking wall, dude. Faker should have flashed that wall. There's actually no excuse. He had all the time in the world to make that decision. All the time in the world to make that decision, and he didn't. Come on, Faker. Bang, flash the other ultimate. You got a flash, dude. Spend your flash. You wouldn't lose this turret. They can stall this game out. Stall this game out to when Swain's uncontestable into half your team, and then Tristana can outscale the fuck out of Xayah. They have a big wave in bot. They should go straight bot. Go straight bot. Go straight bot. Use the wave. No. Use the wave. Push it in. I'm so sad. You can get a little bit of turret damage there. Wouldn't get the turret, but you can get turret damage. Not like Swain has teleport. He can't flank or anything like that. It wasn't going to be up for another like 5 seconds. Peanut. Peanut. Is he on? Did he end up on Kingdom? Because that's the old Rocks Tigers. I think he's on King Zone right now. Who are the best team in Korea? Pretty sure he's on King Zone. With Prey Gorilla. Yeah. Should be with Prey Gorilla. Yeah. They should win playoffs for Korea. KT lost to Africa. This crocodile, he has time alone. He's nuts. Look at him go. Score. Ran straight through the ward and just plopped himself in the brush. What the fuck? That's hella troll. They can do this relatively quickly. They have Ornn up here, so they want to force. They want them to walk through here. Ornn has really good engage if you walk through like this kind of choke. Like Ornn should ult. Oh, ult Ornn. Yeah, here we go. Blank made it in. He just missed the smite. You should have done that Forge God earlier to force Blank in before it would even be in smite range, because that was actually a 50-50. And you don't want to like allow 50-50s like that. This is super silly. Can they kill him? They killed him. They did it. It's a miracle. Smeb just lived for like 20 seconds. This crocodile TP'd in and instantly went to 20%. This poor crocodile. This poor crocodile. He TP'd in and got mauled. This poor crocodile. This game's effectively over. I'll leave it on until it ends, but my chair sunk. Yeah, Kingzone's really fun to watch play too. I like watching KT and Kingzone from Korea. This poor crocodile literally TP'd in. 1 second later has to like slice and dice out just to be at 20% and get ran down by a rock throwing hoe. Alright, so since this is Korea, they could just walk bot. Instead, they're probably going to get Elder. They have a massive wave in bot lane, but I feel like they might go get Elder. It's a Korean thing. Oh, just run the wave up, please. I would love it. Run the wave all the way in. Don't get the Elder. You don't need the Elder. Actually end the game. Good ult. I love it. I love it. This is the least Korean thing I've ever seen. They didn't make sure they had Baron and Elder just to go hit a turret that was free. Korea does end games, but they like to do the thing where you remove as many variables as possible, but like a lot of the times it's just like overcautious. Where like you can have enough of an advantage where like they're so far ahead in this game. Like they're so far ahead in this game. They can actually just go headbutt them. They don't need another Baron plus Elder plus complete vision control to like be able to set that up. Which is like you have to wait for that